Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn welcoming you all to another Sharks TV podcast. And usual podcast, but a little bit different if you follow. It's Coach's Corner and I'm joined today by Martin Grubb and Jamie Thomson. Afternoon, chaps.
Andy, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Jamie.
Happy New Year, Andy.
Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to everyone watching. And I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel. We're over 1,000 subscribers now. That's absolutely great. Just need you to watch every single video that comes on now, so click that wee bell notification button and we'll be golden. It'll be good. But yeah, good start to the year for the channel, and good ending to the year for the Sharks in terms of the last game. It was a really enjoyable game to watch. Quite a few Sharks fans there. Do you want to talk about the past weekend first, chaps?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole festive period as a whole, we ideally were looking for 10 points. I guess like everybody would. I think we've ended up with 6, which, if we're honest, is it's over 500, which is always a good thing. I think we were okay on Saturday in the Telford game without being spectacular, and maybe on another night the results a little bit different. We take a couple of chances early, so we're a little bit disappointed, obviously, to firstly be shut out at home. And ultimately lose the points. But Jamie and I have said this every year, let alone every week. But every year we've been saying this team tries never to lose 2 in a row. We need to have character and that bounce back ability. And the afternoon in Hull gave us a perfect chance. They had put the revenge mission out there, which it's easy for us then to discuss with the players. They see it. But for us was simply about getting 2 points. And I guess 2023 was an unbelievable year for the club. From Shark Slam to the excitement of joining the league to finally playing in this league. And we both discussed with the team of how we can just end it on a high. And credit to the players. I thought, came out the blocks really quick. First period, start of second period, we were as good as we've been. 10-minute lull, couple of power play goals on the pushback for them, which we knew was coming. We always knew they were going to push back. And then we showed our character when Nolan getting his first pro hat-trick. And it showed our teeth a wee bit in terms of just seeing the game out. So you've got to be, it ended a really good year for us. It ended a good festive period for us, and I think it showed a bit more of what we're all about.
Absolutely. I mean, we will look back in the whole year after we've done Coach's Corner. But here's a question for you, Jamie, a really difficult one, because I couldn't find the answer. You talked about it there being shut out at home, Martin. When was the last time the Sharks failed to score a goal?
I think it'll be a good 3 or 4 years ago at least, Andy. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a long time since that's happened.
I'd looked through some of the results and I couldn't see
I would say it's probably longer than that. I would go back to the Northern League when we used to play against Fife Flyers and Dundee Stars and stuff. I can't see it happening in the NIHL 2 or 1 days. I can't think of any time that's happened, but I might be wrong in the early days before I was back involved. But
there'll be some hockey geek watching this that'll be able to tell us exactly where and when. And I expect it to be whacked into the comments below. So do that, see if you can come up with it. What was your thoughts on the weekend's games, Jamie?
Well, I think just what Martin said. I think. All right. There we go. That closer. My belly doesn't let me get closer.
So with the lean.
They're good.
Sorry, I forgot where we were. What was the last bit?
You were asking me what I thought about the weekend's games.
Okay, we'll start at that bit again. So, Jamie, what did you think of the weekend's games and results?
I think just what Martin said. I think against Telford, after 40 minutes, we were right there and in touch. And I didn't think we were playing badly, but I also think we wasted some grade A chances. It's certainly in the first period that we could have put a different spin on the game, but just one of those nights. And then we make 2 really bad mistakes that are uncharacteristic of the boys. I can't even say it. That's how random they are. And we cough up 2 goals, and then we pull the goalie, trying to get a bit of magic again, and it didn't happen. And there's not much else to say about that. That game come down to small errors that cost us goals, which do at this level. And then we went into Hull in a pretty positive place. I thought for the first period we were excellent. A couple of, as Martin said again, those penalties we kind of lost our way a little bit. If I'm being hypercritical, I'm sure we'll see them, but I think we probably should have blocked the first one, got the puck out in the first one, and attempted to block or stop the second one coming through to the net. I think we were poor on them, but ultimately I think we put in a really good battling performance. We showed a bit of grit, bit of determination. You know, a sellout crowd down there. I thought our fans that travelled were excellent, made plenty of noise to carry us through. And you've got to be happy with that. It was a difficult time. We left early and it's New Year's Eve and, you know, you're trying to keep focused and not think about time with your family and your holidays and things like that.
And face-off was delayed as well, for whatever reason.
I think the skating session before the game ran over or something. But I mean, all that's kind of relative. We just got to keep focused on the game and go down there. And we were determined to do a number on them. Martin said the revenge stuff and that makes it easy for us. You know, when you're putting stuff out on social media. A lot of these teams obviously believe they should still be beating us quite comfortably, but you know, that's not the case. So ultimately, reasonably happy, I guess, is the short answer to your question.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look at some of the goals or some of the plays from the weekend through Martin's analysis. We get that up on screen shortly. And this is the Telford game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like we've always said, Andy, of course, we're a Sharks TV podcast, but we're here to analyse the good and the bad. Obviously, it's, like Jamie and I both said, it's never great to be shut out or lose games, especially at home, but, you know, it's important that we give the viewers a balanced viewpoint here. So, you know, Saturday, I think this was the first one. Face-off, we're on the penalty kill. And I think we end up losing the face-off. You know, Kieran comes out there, but we just allow that pass to be a little bit too easy. Vladimir Luka has a heavy shot, and he's managed to get that right through. And you know, I think when we see it, break it down, we want to block that. We probably want our goalie to do a wee bit better. I mean, to a really good game. This one again for me, like, you know, the puck's on our stick, and it's just totally uncharacteristic of Olivier. We made the first save, and we've just got to be better there. If I'm honest, you know, I just think it's a really sloppy for us. Third goal.
And when that second goal went in, Martin, because it had been such a tight game, was that? I know you're never going to say, well, that was game over, but we'd been trying hard to score all game. It was going to be really difficult to pull 3 goals back in that, 17, 18 minutes, as it were?
No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, 2-0, two-shot game. I think we've seen what happened on the, whatever night it was. I get lost in between Christmas and Wednesday night when we had to pull the goalie. I mean, if anything, we were at this, Jamie and I were at that stage of saying, can we try not to have to pull the goalie and perform miracles again? Because as we all know, you know, it happens and it's great when it does, but it's not a regular thing that any team wants to have to try and do. And obviously when it's an empty net at any point, one shot goes in, that's you're kind of done. So we spoke more about being patient. There was still 18 minutes to go. It's a long time in a hockey game for things to change. But we wasted our chances. I think we still created some chances. I think credit to both teams that defensively, I think the structures were good. Tommy and I know each other really well. We'd just spent 2 weeks with each other just before that, and I think we discussed that in the podcast leading up to that game. So I kind of knew roughly where he was going with his structure, and he knew the same with us. And as Jamie rightly said, you know, it was kind of a couple of little errors as we've just seen there. On the first one, if we go and stop on the PK rather than swooping a little bit, that puck probably doesn't get across to Luka. We probably have to do a little bit better with either the block or the save on that one. The second one, you know, when was the last time anybody's seen Arce make a mistake, especially like that? It kind of doesn't happen. So, you But Curtis makes the save, and we've got to be better defensively to tie up sticks. And then at that stage, it's probably still a 0-0 game, even a 1-0 game. But we had to push a little bit, and obviously we had to get the goalie off. And it's all right when it works, but when it doesn't work, it never looks good.
I know you and I, Jamie, chatted in the bar afterwards, and I was kind of saying that they had a really good game. We were behind the goals, and he made a couple of really, really good saves. You weren't quite so sure. You felt that we were maybe a bit more wasteful, but that was the third game in a row where we were 2 goals down going into the last 2-3 minutes where we pulled the keeper. Obviously, we lost the goal in that game, beat the Seahawks, and nothing much happened in the Leeds game. But your thoughts as you've kind of had time to reflect on it?
I think then what I was hearing was, we came up against a hot netminder, and I still don't think that's the case. We came up against a good, solid National League experienced netminder, but I don't think we were clinical enough, and I don't think that's changed. I think that's my honest answer on that. No giving the guy any disservice. He played the game, but that's his job, right? That's what he's there for. So I don't think we were clinical enough, and when you're going on about, we've got 18 minutes and we're chasing 3 goals, you're not really thinking about that. You don't think about getting the next one.
Getting the next one at that time, yeah.
If we can get back to 2-2, then we'll see where we go for there. And but we had chances throughout the game, so there's no excuses there. It just is what it is, and we moved on. But I certainly don't think we threw a game away. I just think we could be a bit more patient in front of the goal, a bit more clinical. Maybe bear down a bit harder on some shots, and we would have been in a different game. But the boys learnt from that and we moved on, because we certainly took them on the following day.
I think in the Telford game, there's a lot of people behind me, and we were saying it was really good. I mean, obviously we don't like the result, but you've still got to appreciate the quality of the hockey, and we kind of said that right at the start of this season, that the quality of the hockey is going to be the key thing. And it was a really good game to watch. Not every game's going to be a 15-goal classic. That's 2 or 3 goals, but it was still a quality hockey game. We enjoyed it.
Don't want many 15-goal classics. I don't know about you.
All the fans want 15-goal classics. Let's be clear. As long as we've got the deciding
15,
goal,
as long as we've got the 15 and the other
goal,
team's got the none.
But yeah, it was a good game, and I think the boys did themselves proud. But obviously, as coaches, you're looking for that little edge, aren't you?
I think so. And look, it's the fantastic thing about this season so far is you're hearing that after a loss, because that's what keeps people coming back, buying tickets every week. The crowds are going up and up. I think the past 2 games, we passed our highest crowd on both occasions, time after time. Obviously, the festive period helps with that, and people have got some spare time. But if it's no entertaining, then they're not going to come back. So, yeah, look, it's great to hear that they're happy, because there's a lot of clubs, they lose a game and the fans are baying for blood. And I think the vast majority of our loyal fan base know what we're doing here, and know it'll take a wee bit of time for us to start climbing up to the top half of the table, but we'll get there. So they're a bit patient, which is nice. But it's good that they're enjoying it. I mean, that's what everybody pays the money to come for. It's entertaining.
Absolutely. So then we move to Hogmanay and Hull. That could be a title of a movie, couldn't it? Quite a good movie, that. Hogmanay and Hull.
I can see Andy running about Hull car park dressed as Die Hard.
Chasing somebody with chip spice.
Right.
We'll leave that one to you, Andy.
Let's have a look at the play in Hull then.
Yeah, I think we said earlier, we started well. Even just for the still of this, we discuss our D-zone structure. We come back into the zone and we stop in our spots. We're in a good area here, even though they're on the puck. And we're happy to battle. We win the loose puck. A little bounce there, but we exit, and Nolan gets on his horse, and he's just drove off Barry's shoulder, and quite opportunist, to be fair. Like we've been asking him to be a bit more direct, and pre-game we spoke about that, and it was a tidy finish. Then we get a wee bit of power play time, and again we're patient. We spread the zone a wee bit. We move the puck. We had a couple of little looks before this, and then his delayed penalty. Before we even have a real chance to impact that, Nolan again's in that little area in the slot. This one starts with Kel's skating ability. Then as we can enter the zone here, we actually turn the puck over, but Stents makes a really good play. And, if I hear, as soon as it gets here, I hear Jamie in my ear every week telling Scotty to shoot the puck, because he can shoot the puck. And
there wasn't many places he could put that.
no, but that's
That's
what happens when he does shoot that puck. So this one, we turn the puck over just inside the blue line. It's something that we don't particularly like to do, but we should really get that puck out there. We wave one hand at it. Everybody's going north. We leave Svek behind us, and you can't do that. You just can't do that to a guy that can score goals like this. Here, and this is one Jamie alluded to earlier, we're in a half-decent spot. We force them to go back to the top, and they're on the outside. We're all right with this. We're on the outside, but then we just give Bartholomew a chance to shoot the puck without us getting in that lane, even with our stick. And there's a bit of traffic in front, and that was just too easy. And again, we find ourselves in the same situation where we've kept one outside the dots again. And again, we're kind of okay with this. But as soon as it goes to the top again here, like we just part. And I think that part of that would be to try and let Curtis see it. But when you're letting a guy like that could shoot the puck and has shot the puck just before that, like come straight down Broadway, it's difficult. And I think we've got to be a wee bit better on that. And when they go back to 3-3, I guess probably the building itself thought, they've got momentum, they're on a roll. As Jamie said, we had a good few fans there that were brilliant, and they're probably thinking, here we go, we're 3-0 up. But at no point was there any panic. We discussed it, especially after what happened on the Wednesday night. There was always going to be a pushback. They had to have a pushback. They had a full building. They delayed the game to let people in, to whatever happened. But they were, the revenge mission, everything that we discussed, we knew that they're an offensive team. We knew they would push back. I knew that they would look to get pucks to the net. We knew how desperate they were to beat us. So we discussed just playing our game, getting back to the third period, playing our game, taking our chances, being solid defensively. And obviously this one, we get a power play. And again, we're just patient on the puck. We try and spread the zone a little bit. So now we've managed to do to them what they've done to us earlier, and kind of got them chasing around a little bit. We go with a nice east-west release. And this is where Nolan's really good. He pops out to that goal line, makes a little play, goes forehand, backhand, and seals the deal for us. And obviously I would say that was not only the game winner for us, but that was his first pro hat-trick. It was a huge performance from him and our PP, because we needed it at that stage. And it was nice to get our noses in front with 12 and a half to go. And from there, yes, again there was a pushback, but we had chances. I think we had chances to win the game, and we had a 5-on-3, just 4 minutes to go. And there was a mixture of not wanting to shoot too much on that so that you could spring them on a short-handed chance, so you had to be patient. But we really wanted to try and score on that, and should have probably scored on it. But we managed the game well, and I think our character shone through that when we've been getting in these situations now, we have a genuine desire, and a greater desire than Hull did, to win the hockey game. And again, we've discussed this on the podcast so many times that, maybe 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, we probably would have found a way to lose that game. But as the years progressed, as we've played in these one-goal games and these tight games, we've learned how to do it, and we've learned how to be in front. And yes, sometimes we've fell the other way and we've had to go behind and pull our goalie, but I thought we were really good value for that win, and it just finished the year on a real high for us.
Well, we got a penalty near the end for too many men, and they pulled the goalie, so the 2-man advantage. And you and I spoke about when we pulled the goalie here against the same team, and they were still trying to shoot from downtown. Now we could probably afford to do those shots from downtown because it wasn't going to be icing, but we managed that game quite well when we were in a two-man deficit, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, we discuss it all the time that 6-on-4, as you say, is different. You can go end to end and without the fear of icing, but you got to pick the right moment, because some people will then see that empty net and it's the shoot mentality. But if they keep a puck in that's potentially going right up the middle of the ice, that's prime ice for them. So it was about getting pucks to the outside the dots, out obviously over the blue line ideally, which we did a couple of times. If it could go 200 feet, then great. But if not, it just had to go over the blue line. And then I think we had Peaks was one of them. I can't remember. It might have been Nolan the other one, but we had 2 real good blocks. And even right on the buzzer, I think it was Peaks' one, he threw his cell at it and it ended over the glass. So Jamie hit the nail on the head earlier, was saying we would have liked to have got some blocks on their goals. When we did get the blocks, we kept them at the net. Curtis was nice and composed. So I think we did manage it well. And again, the more 1-goal, 2-goal type games you're in, the more experience you get. Because it's all right being in that situation in the league below. And again, showing no disrespect to anybody, but it didn't happen a lot. I mean, probably, and again, I'm sure we'll discuss it in the review, but you probably go back to Billingham in the cup final, the last time we really had to play in that situation, and North won. So it's learning experiences, and it's the key for us, and Jamie said it earlier as well about the Saturday to the Sunday. It's just been ready to play and learning from the Saturday night. We were average. I'd say it kind of was irrelevant whether Bradley had a good game or not. He'd done his job. Telford done their job. They came, they did a number on us. They left with the points, and we could have felt sorry for ourselves and went with excuses of it's an early game and it was pushed back, and we just weren't feeling it. It's New Year's Eve, etc. But we just went, and we've learned now to pull our socks up and say, right, we go again. And I think the boys did that. And, we did play, as coaches, we did play a little bit on, it would be a pretty garbage bus journey back if we'd went there and not done ourselves any justice. And, then you're getting a few days off to go and spend time with your family and friends, and it's in your head. So, we were honest with the players, as we always are, and said, listen, let's, we have a chance to make it a good end to the year, a good bus trip, a good new year, against a team that we know we can beat. We'd already beat them twice, and that was 3 now, 3-1 to us in the series so far, and it's still a long way to go. I mean, they're still a good team, but it's a team that we know we can beat, and we think we can beat. So the players went there with confidence, and ultimately we've done our job. And 6 points, as we say, out of 10 in that festive period is a decent return for a first year team that, again, as Jamie rightly said, is learning and growing, and was always going to take time to completely find its feet. Now we got to kick on for this and take this both home and away performances into the second half of the year, and hopefully there's only one way, and that's up.
I think that's a real good summary of it, and I think we also, whether we win, lose, or overtime or whatever, you guys come out here and you talk candidly with the fans, you explain what's went on, you explain the good, you explain the bad, you give credit where it's due, which is really refreshing, because maybe not every team in the league does that. Moving forward to this weekend coming, double header in the Shark Tank, and what I think, if you're a Shark fan, you're looking, bottom of the team table, 4 points here, we can stretch away, we can bring the difference to 7 points as such. And we always tend to view it as fans, I'm talking not necessarily yourselves, but as fans, we're always looking at, we win these 2 games because it's a team below us, and not necessarily giving those teams the credit they deserve. And of course, they're sitting there thinking, we win these 2 games, we're right back in the mix. So from your perspective, what's your thoughts coming forward to this weekend? Start with you, Jamie.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Andy. I mean, I think we'd be really wrong to think, they're below us, they're not as good. They've got some good players in that team. For me, probably our most disappointing performance of the year so far was against them in here last time they were coming. They came up here, and perhaps there maybe was a little bit of that attitude to start with, and they were on a pretty bad run then, but they've been picking up some points lately and added a few boys into the roster. So for me, it's literally about getting the boys back in this week, tonight and tomorrow on the ice, getting them back into routine, and approaching those games as if you're playing a Leeds, a Milton Keynes, a Peterborough, or whoever else. Their current league position or form means nothing. Telford is a prime example. They had lost 7 on the bounce, and they came in here and won. So, and I think our league positions, the same. So, league positions kind of irrelevant. You've got to treat everybody with the respect they're due. They're in this league for a reason. They've got some experienced players, and I think it'll be a pretty tough couple of games for us.
Martin, what should we be looking out for in particular in these games? What the players we're looking for? Who are the players that we should be looking out for?
I guess when you talk about us, and we speak about probably most weeks between yourself and Owen, that we're a team. Like, we try not to single ourselves individually out. So I'd like to see a nice composed team performance. I'd like to see us be the aggressor, if you like, on the forecheck, establish a right to play by our forecheck. At any point, we're going to have to soak up some pressure. Both teams don't even want to win. Both teams probably need the wins. I think 4 points for either of the two teams after the weekend, and their start of the year looks completely different. So I think that they'll come to play. They'll come to play hard. I think I totally agree with Jamie. That was not even our most disappointing. We can be honest, it was our worst performance of the season by a country mile. But you can't take anything away from them, because I think over that weekend, the last time, they worked really hard. They're going to play. They're going to hope Ben Norton plays really well for them. Obviously, Ben was here for me with the Great Britain team, and he won not only our player of the tournament, but he won the goalie of the tournament. Yeah. And he's a good goalie, really good kid. So they're going to need him to be good. We're going to have to make sure that he's not, take his eyes away, punish any rebounds, make sure that he has to be absolutely perfect. So that'll be a big thing for us, getting a little bit more pucks to the net, and just trying to establish our dominance in the O-zone. Tanner Butler and Rhys Cochran have done a great job for him at the back end, and done a good job the last time we played. So I expect them to log a lot of minutes in the back end for them, and they block a lot of shots. Butler likes to shoot the puck on the PP. Fisi has been an out-and-out goal scorer for them since they signed. And again, a guy that loves to shoot the puck, and I think he got four goals against us in the Sunday game. So got to be careful of him. Bailey Harewood skates really well, and our young guy. And then, of course, we've got our old friend Barry coming back. And if I'm honest, it'll be nice to see him back in the Shark Tank. Hopefully he's on the wrong end of the results for Baz, but it'll be nice to see Baz come back as well. And since he's went there, and they brought Fisi and a couple of guys in, they have, Jamie's right, they've turned some of their performances around. I think they got four out of their 10 points, but looking at results, it could have been 8. It maybe should have been 8 for them. They were ahead in 2 games that they felt they should have won. So they've been on a decent run. We've been on a decent run. Ultimately, it's going to be whose desire is greater, who makes the least mistakes, and who can be the most relentless in what they're going to do, and ruthless. And ultimately, for us, that's got to be us. I don't think there's no free passes this week on, we had some travel, there's no excuses. We'll get back to work, as we say, the Thursday, Friday practices, and we'll be ready to play, and everybody's got to earn whatever they get now. And this is a big weekend for us. It can start the year in the right way. But as coaches and as a team, we're confident we're in a good place right now, and hopefully we start the year with a bang. But I think it'll be 2 really good games.
Don't want to put words in anybody's mouth or anything, but are these must-win games?
I think our league position and our aspiration, every game's a must-win game, right? We go into every game, but certainly, if you take the top 2 teams potentially out of the battle, every game out with the top 2 are must win. I think we're on par, if not better, than a lot of the teams above us. So, they're must win games. Is our season going to crumble and that's it over if we don't win them? No. But in terms of our final league position and where we want to be, then if we want to get up into that, near that top half of the table, then they're must win games. The same as any other coach or team would say, when they're playing us. Again, it doesn't mean any disrespect to them, because every coach looks around them, and the games with the teams round about them are must win. The way we've got to have that attitude when we go in there. And that's not to put extra pressure on anybody. Everybody knows what our goal is, and you know the teams 4, 5, 6 places above us. When we play them, we go in there saying, "These are, you know, we need to win this."
Right.
So it's not just because it's them. It's, you know, every team round about us. These games are must win now. We're in the final stretch of the first season already, which is bonkers to think about. But from January onwards, to make a push for the playoffs, these games are must win now. Yep.
Martin, your message to the fans.
Yeah, again, it's just the same. Firstly, thank you. Thank you for sticking with us through 2023. We had some massive highs. We found our feet a little bit in this league now. The numbers have been huge, and the support's been amazing, both home and away. And as Jamie says, we're so thankful and appreciative of that. And just, you know, yeah, keep coming. You can be rest assured that we are working as hard as we can to be the best version of this team that we can be. Not only for week on week now, but as we've alluded to in this podcast, for longer term. So keep supporting us, keep trusting us, just like the players trust the process. We appreciate you all, and hopefully we'll start this year with a bang.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and thank you especially to Jamie and Martin for coming along. We really do appreciate it. I know you come along every week, Martin. There's a bit of dedication in that, and that's really appreciated. But we also appreciate you for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell before I go. But this is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.